Hello and welcome to a B17 Flying Fortress, the mighty 8th Redux. This is a redux of the famous game B17 Flying Fortress, the mighty 8th, which was then also a redux of the original B17, a very old game for the 486 processors from Microprose, a legendary game which I love to play. I love to play the B17 mighty 8 and I really love to play this one. And to commemorate this and to make this a little bit of a special video, I'm actually gonna compare this to the original B17 Mighty 8th. So this is a game that has been long time out and I was kind of hoping that it will be redone, and apparently it has. A representative of Microprose has accessed me and asked me would I like a key. I said hell yes, please do. And today we're taking a look at the B17. I'm going to be doing a sample mission, which is one of the first missions, bombing of the Brest harbor. And you have all nooks and crannies, and just look how much the graphics have been improved. You would be really tricked thinking that this is essentially the same game. I mean, in my memory, the game looked like this. The game looked like Redux, and not like the original that I'm showing here for comparison. And just thinking, okay, well, the dev just put it into, DirectX 12. That would be really unfair. Just look at this briefing room. The briefing room is now full as compared to the original where it was completely empty and it didn't have any panache. But I still loved that game. I still loved the B17 Mighty 8 because it got me to play as one of the members of the Bombardier group. It put me in the role on these mighty behemoths that were going out and about above Europe, risking their lives every single day, and very few of them returned. So yes, in essence, this game is phenomenal. I'm really happy to have gotten this key, and the graphics, I hope that this video will enable everyone to see just how much the graphics have been improved. Because at first, when I've gotten the key, to be honest, I thought that, well, I mean, it's just ported in and it looks the same. Hell no. It's a huge difference. And just if you observe how the cards look, how the graphics look, how much the UI has been improved, everything was redone. Because look at the original. Looks kind of the same. It was retextured. Every single detail was redone in much higher fidelity. So if you go and start the mission, the only thing that actually looks the same is the exterior, and the devs have been pretty honest about it. They just said, like, we're first doing the interiors, the graphics, the UI, and the interior of the bomber, and then eventually we will be upping up everything. But even if you look today, for example, having to play this in full HD, this is just beautiful. My only regret, and I'm pretty upfront about it, just look at this interior. This interior is so nice, so clean. It looks completely, new as opposed to this original. It's easy to forget just how much the graphics has improved. It's easy not to observe it. So that's why I wanted to do this video as a little bit of a special take. Thanks to the developers who have been really putting a tremendous amount of effort to make this game a redux which will look that good. Just to note, Microprose has announced 3 games in total, if I'm not mistaken. One of them being the Redux, which will come out first, and this is this guy, which has come to early access now, so work is by no means complete. They have just begun on their journey of upping the quality of the graphics and everything in this version. So this is actually a starting point. Just look at that bomb site. Later on, I have many references how I will compare this to the new one. And this interior, they look so clean, they look so nice. And that's something that you could easily forget. Okay, so not to be too boring, I just figured I'd go on with the mission. We're gonna be starting, this is the chin turret. There are some changes that, most of the changes I really like, but there are also some that I don't like. And I'm gonna come to that later on in the video. Alright, so right now we are just on the runway, or actually on our parking spot, and we are getting ready to start the mission. I mean, at the moment the engines are being put on and I'm just shifting through the views to give you guys an impression. For example, this is the new top turret. And this is how the new top turret looks like, and later on when we'll be flying towards Europe, I'm gonna be showing you how the basically ball turret. Just look at the radio operator compared to its original. The books look much cleaner compared to the original, and the radio station, everything seems to have been modeled in full 3D, so you really get a sense of, you know, cleanness and the interface. There has been a lot of love put into this game, and I really wanted it to show properly so that you guys get a chance to see it for yourself and appreciate it. For example, this is how the original bolt turret looked like. The new one looks a little bit different. For example, I didn't like that, you know, the targeting reticule takes the better part of the view, and it's obstructing the view, so you cannot really, you know, aim. However, that's something that I've relayed to the developers, and they were actually telling me that the patch is already in the works. They were aware of the problem, so big kudos to the developers. So now, it took me actually 2 weeks to manage to put out the old game out of the, you know, mothballs, naphthalene, to actually try and do the mission. And this is a video of my previous mission that I did. So I just wanted to compare just how cleaner this looks. I mean, I know that the graphics look dated by modern standards, but then again, this is a game that has been like what, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. And I remember that when I was playing the original B17, I was still in high school. And wow, that was a long time ago, because I'm like a 45-year-old now. So yeah. Anyway, we are going on with a slightly accelerated timelines, going onwards to our mission, and I'm really happy. I cannot be clear enough how excited I am to get this mission. So, let's get into the mission. We are going on, and we are just now, I'm switching through the views to give a little bit sense of, yeah, here is the map. I mean, it still has the old issues that the previous game had, because underneath it, it's still the old, I believe it's still the old engine, and everything, it's just, the graphics have been modernized. I even noticed one old bug, which I'm gonna share with you later on, which I've noticed in the original one, and even that one was noticed from the old Flying Fortress. I'm sorry I don't have from the old Flying Fortress, but that one was done in VGA resolution. I think it was 640 by 480 or something. That one actually was before the 3D graphics card became, you know, a reality. It was before the time of the 3D FX. Now, you older people, you will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we are going onwards to our mission to bomb the Brest harbor. So yeah. You still get the same gameplay. For example, fixing the navigator. Navigator in the beginning gets lost. He gets a little bit off left and right. He drifts off course. So you need to correct him in the map view. And I think that's really fun. You know, time skip halted, navigator is lost. One of the most common frustrations I had with the original B17. But I guess it's realistic. I mean, it's kind of hard to navigate when you're going just constantly above the sea and stuff. So it does make sense. The visuals look nice. As I said, the only remarks that I have, which I would really like, is if this game could be upped by graphics, because, for example, I'm running an ultra-wide 3440 by 1440, 21 by 9, and if the graphics have already been ported in the new engine, it would be really silly not to enable different resolutions, but I do understand, given the old UI and everything, that there are limitations. Okay, bandits coming in. 8 high, which means top turret. Time to go into the top turret quickly now, because I suck at this game. It's one of the most beautiful games that I totally suck at. Where's the top turret gunner? Come on, Stephen Schultz. Oh, there you go. Stephen Chance. Okay, so now let's take a look. Where do we have? And here is what the original looked like. So here in the original you can see I have a much smaller obstructed field of view, and that's something that I actually didn't like with the new one. With the new one, there's a lot of this, like, aiming sight is a lot of black area, and it doesn't allow me to actually aim very well. So that's one thing that I would like to see improve. I don't know if this is, you know, historically accurate. If it is, then at least give me a chance to zoom in, maybe, or something like that, because this actually makes my, you know, field of view much smaller. Or, for example, give me a chance to zoom it out a little bit, because then I would have a much bigger, you know, real estate. or just make the frame for gamification purposes, the aim sight a little bit smaller. So like this black area should maybe be a little bit smaller, and that could maybe, you know, unless there is a real historical reason. One beautiful thing is that you can actually aim using the mouse. Previously in the mighty 8th Redux you were only tied to your joystick or, you know, anything else. So here, ability to aim and use the mouse for aiming is just amazing. Right, so having said that, that's like one of the most common mistakes that I was doing, and yeah. Speaking of it, there are many different views that you can take, and there are many different turrets and everything you can man, and here is just, I thought, a little nice side comparison. How does the old game look compared to the new? Obviously the old one is much lower resolution, so, and it does show, so even the exterior visuals, although they look dated, they have been improved. Okay, bandits 11 high. Oh, look at them. And oh, this was a nice shot. Yeah, I just wish I could have taken it down. As I said, my skills in the B17 are totally not up for debate in this video. I'm utterly horrible, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you in the comments will know that. Anyway, but do let me know, would you like to see more videos of the B17 Mighty 8th Redux? I'm definitely gonna be taking a couple of missions, and I'm gonna do a, let's say, maybe a mini series of a let's play. I've been really busy with everything else, but I thought this would be maybe a good chance for, you know, an interesting let's play of, let's say, a couple of bombing missions, now that Netflix is coming out with, you know, Masters of the Skies series, which I think it's amazing. I've been watching it religiously. Cannot wait for the next Friday for the next episode. Oh, look at this, which really portrays the lives of these, you know, brave soldiers in the Air Force that have been conducting, you know, daily bombing raids, which are completely ludicrous, to be honest, but yeah, very, very brave. Alright, oh, there we go. Oh, there's the Luftwaffe. Come on, I've got some pepper for you. Well, it's pretty safe to say that that one won't be landing with a gear down. Alright. There we go. What do we say? Let's see how we're progressing. So let's compare it to the original. Here we have an example of the chin turret that you saw a little bit before we were taking off. This is the... I don't know if it's a nose turret or chin turret. I don't know. This is an example of the ball turret, which we have. And then we have a couple of the side turrets. Sorry, on this mission when I was flying, I didn't really take the side turret for comparison, but and the tail gunner a little bit view. Right. So back to our top turret mission, and I just thought it would be fun to have some overlays from the old mission. I didn't do them, you know, side by side comparison, or actually. So there we go. This is just beautiful. Don't you just love this, you know, mighty formations going out and about? Are we done with the fighters? Can we approach and go for our bombing run, perhaps? Okay, I see the bottom one is trailing smoke. Well, that's not too promising. So apparently they did manage, the Luftwaffe managed to get a couple of shots in. Right, are we ready to continue? What do you think? Okay, how's the map? Okay, I think we have passed the fighters coverage area, and we should be continuing onwards to our bomb run. So maybe I should accelerate time, and I mean there is no fighter cover near the Brest. That's wonderful. So if we just time skip a couple, we got a fix on our position. Okay, is the navigator lost again? Come on. The navigator is lost. Time skip halted. Ha! You don't say. Okay. Here we go again. Now, let's see, where are we? We are, according to this, close to these islands, and do I see those islands? Let me see. Going from above, there's that island that is in like many different pieces, and the small one. So we are coming up right on the small one, and we are just outside of it. Alright. You know, looking at the exterior views, it feels like a little bit cheating, but what can I do? Okay, let's just drag the plane a little bit over here. That's where I would say where our location is, so I think that will work just fine. Right, okay, time skip. Yeah, apparently the navigator found its bearing, and let's continue. Soon enough we will be on the bomb run. And time skip halted. A formation is under threat from a flag site. Okay, well, I guess we are soon enough on the bomb run, right? Yeah, we are approaching Brest. Okie doke. Which means I guess we will be going there and we will be dumping our load. I cannot wait to show you how cool the bomb site looks. Okay, let's time skip a little bit to have this accelerated at a slightly bigger pace. We're on the bomb run. Bomb doors fully open. Okay, the bomber has the plane, which means, oh, time for the fun stuff. Okay, let's grab to the... no, I'm not gonna move you. Pilot from navigator, I cannot get... I mean, navigator, we're on the freaking bomb run, don't get lost. That's one of the things that the original actually forced me kind of... Okay, so, no, you... Why... Don't move. There we go, bomber. There we go. Okay, we have our bomb site, so we need to unhinge it first. Put it into the search mode and then aim it towards the real one. So if you just look at it, how nice and clean it looks like. There we go. And then we're going to compare it to the original. Look at that. I mean, all the characters, search, release, the bars that are going up and down, all of them have been lovingly reworked to really show off this in full glory. We're going to take a look at the original once again when we are a little bit closer to the target, but just look. Side-by-side comparison, how good does that look? I believe this game, once it gets fully done, this will be another milestone and a major milestone for Microprose, and I cannot wait until it's done. Yeah. But I think that the developer's choice to first rework the aircraft interiors, and that's like the minimal launch configuration with which you should launch, is definitely true. And this is, now they have a game. Alright, so let's get back to the search pattern, because apparently I need to adjust for my drift. Alright, it's just there behind the cloud cover. Just imagine how cool would this game look if we managed to get actual volumetric clouds. How much cooler could this game look? I know it's just a Redux, and I'm pretty sure that won't happen in the Redux, but there's another game. As I said, there are 3 games. One is the B17 Redux, the second is B17 Redux VR, which is going to be done for the VR stuff, and the third one will be the Bloody 100th, and that one I expect will be, you know, like the flagship with all bags and whistles. But this one will keep us trained, because B17, the Mighty 8th, is actually a very hard game if you want to play everything on manual. The benefit is that you can have everything run on auto and be none the wiser, so you could just sit down and enjoy the show if you let the AI take everything. But I think, where's the fun in that? You want to take a role, you want to be able to, you know, be the gunner, be the bomber, be the pilot. So in that respect, I think it's really awesome to get a chance and learn of these systems, and in that case the game is extremely hard. It's a very high learning curve to operate all of these, so that's why the game comes with a thorough manual. So when it comes to it, it's kind of niche audience, but I dig it. It was one of my favorite games growing up as a kid, both the Mighty 8th and actually the one before that. Here we go, look at it go, so beautiful. Brest Harbor in all of its glory. Now, in my previous playthrough, the one that you might even see on my channel, I have actually had too much of a drift and I was hitting the ships. And you will see the bomb site as we get closer. You will see that how my historical aim was. However, this time I figured, you know, forget about the ships. Ships come and go, but the buildings stay. So this time I'm going straight for the buildings and I'm gonna bomb them. The idea is how much of the harbor we can destroy. You know, the silos, the storages, and all that jazz. So there we go. I think there is even a cruiser parked there. Haha, you don't say. Alright, we're getting closer. Soon enough, it will be bombs away. Yeah, and here's the original footage. Now look. It kind of looks the same to comparison. And even the ships, they're the same. It would be nice to have a little bit variation on the ships, but I guess it's a Redux, so of course you cannot do much. But when it comes to that, I was really having a hard time to actually aim. So as we go further down the site, look at this, how much cleaner this is. It really... Oh, flak. Come on, flak, stop flak. There we go. I'm gonna aim for this point, because the bombs, when we start dropping, they'll go, you know, they'll start early and they'll finish up late. So we're doing carpet bombing. This is not like, you know, your 2000s where you have a precision bombs. And now I've accidentally pressed the wrong key, so you get a chance to see beautiful interiors for everybody else. Okay, back to the bomb site. Anyway, it's a nice way to cover my own, you know, incompetence. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Anyway, we are getting close now to the bomb release, and you will get the bomb release comparison. The new game versus the old. The Redux versus the original. So, soon enough. And we go. Come on. A little bit more. A little bit more. Release and... bombs away! There they go. And look. Compared to the original, even the bomb bay has been, you know, completely redone, and bombs releasing. I mean, so compared to the original footage, this looks much cleaner. Alright, the formation is turning, bombs are on their way, and let's see how did we score. I always love this view. I mean, the planes are immediately turning, but thankfully we do get a chance to get another bomb view by pressing F6 again. Just look at this. They are coming straight down. We really made a mess. Okay, well, that's one harbor that won't be operating soon enough. Beautiful. Alright, now it's only about the long way back home. Just look how that bomb bay beautiful of the bomb bay. Yeah. Well, you can clearly say that you can clearly see that I'm excited about this, because I mean, this game is just amazing. Right. Okay, so compared to the original, once again showing how the clean the interiors look like compared to the ones. Now, formation is under threat from a flak site again. Well, sounds weirdly familiar if I look in the same, you know, place. Yeah. All right. Now, there we go. A little bit of flak never hurt anybody, did it? Oh well, technically that's not correct. Flak was one of the major issues during the bomber raids, and yeah, together with the fighters. Alright, so here is one of our bombers going down at the return, during the return back home. And now let's just go. I just figured to give you guys a little bit chance to compare the exteriors when it comes to this mission. I will of course do a more, you know, role play in depth. This video was more like to show you guys the differences between the two, and I hope you liked it. I hope you all appreciate it, and you know, because honestly, when I've gotten the game, I thought, oh well, it's just the same game. In my head it looked like, you know, the original like this, and I thought like, okay, well, what did the devs do, honestly? And only when I pulled up the original and compared it, then I realized just how much they did. How much of their work translated here. Is a lot of love here. So that's one thing that I really wanted to address in this video and show you guys how much did the game change between the original Mighty 8th. Okay, once again, our navigator is lost. I mean, I'll clearly have to teach my navigator a lesson or two, because he's constantly getting lost. That guy is, I mean, it's a lost soul. But I guess it's his first mission, so, I mean, you gotta cut him some slack as well. Anyway, aircraft is leaving formation. I guess it's the fighters leaving back. I never saw any fighters. They were just, Luftwaffe was just pummeling us, but okay, well, what can you do? So guys, do let me know in the comments, how many of you are, show of hands, how many of you are watching the Masters of the Skies on Netflix, or no, or was it HBO? I think it was Netflix. No, HBO. Masters of Air, yes, on HBO, sorry. My mistake. Alright, I think it's time that we go back to the... where is our landing strip? Soon enough we should be there. Okay, Ridgewell AAB, Air Force Base. Okay, just correcting now because apparently my navigator is really has no idea. And here I actually wanted to show you, I found one old bug, and it's kind of really funny. Okay, here is our, you know, landing strip. So now when we'll be going down, when we'll be circling, as you see, everything is good with the engines, but if you continue to play time skip, at some point my engines will start trailing smoke, and all four, for no apparent reason. I could understand that some of them get overheated or start trailing for whatever reason, but them trailing smoke, I think it's a bug, honestly. And it's a funny bug because it's a bug from the original, so look at them. They're trailing smoke right now. Why? I mean, if you know of the historical reason why engines would be trailing smoke right now, do let me know. Are they letting out oil or something? Do let me know in the comments below, but I think it's a bug, and I think it's a bug from the original B17, and I'm gonna show you just the original footage to compare it to, because I think it's really funny. Okay, so as we are landing, look how much smoke we're trailing. I mean, it's crazy. It feels like our engines are gonna bust out and give in any second. I mean, the aircraft is a little bit shot up, so it is to be expected that there should be some damage, but I wouldn't be expecting all four engines to, you know, belch smoke at this rate, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, as you can tell, I mean, just look at that trailing smoke. And there's another thing that's from the original, the endless circles until we land. And I mean, that's historically accurate, to be honest, because it took a while until all the planes could land safely, and in many cases there were, you know, rough landings. So look at this is the original one, and if you look, for no apparent reason, once again trailing smoke. So clearly it's either a bug that has been inherited from the old version, or is it something completely new? I have no idea. Do let me know in the comments below if you know, guys. I would be really thankful, and while you're there, I would really appreciate it if you liked the video. It took me a lot of effort to actually relearn the skills necessary to fly this damn thing, and it took me a lot of effort to actually dig up this old footage to be able to show you the comparisons. So if you like it, appreciate it, and would like to see more, do let me know in the comments below. And, you know, that'll be nice. So now let's see how much time it will take me to actually land this damn thing. Alright, we're coming in for the landing. Finally, I've decided, you know, forgive me, but I decided to time skip because it would take forever. So now we're in for the landing, and let's see if we manage to land nicely. We have two planes landing ahead of us. Apparently we're no longer trailing smoke, go figure, and hopefully we're able to land and everything is hunky-dory for the crew. Alright, just gliding it in. Soon enough we'll be landing. Let's just hope for a nice soft landing, because that's the last and the trickiest part of the return, because you never know what could be shot up. I'm just checking up if the landing gear is still there. Looks like the landing gear is okay. Yes, all three landing gear down. Beautiful. That means that our pilot should hopefully be capable of landing, because I couldn't land this thing for shit. So yeah, now let's see. Easy does it, Tiger. And okay, we managed to land. Speed 70 miles per hour, and we're gonna be just taxiing the plane onwards to our final landing spot. Beautiful. This was one successful mission that we have executed, and hopefully I managed to provide you guys a little bit more insight into what the game looks like, what it is, what it isn't, and also more insight into just how much effort it took to bring it up to today's standards. So if you ever pick up the game and say, oh, it looks, you know, it looks exactly the same as I remember it. Well, probably, like me, you're remembering it wrong. Because honestly, I made that mistake, and yeah, it looks much nicer, and I'm thinking with the upcoming days and you know, the efforts the developers seem to be putting in this game, it's gonna look even nicer. It's gonna look beautiful, and we're gonna have, whoa, we almost clipped that Jeep. It's gonna be looking even nicer. Right, so let's bring it to our final parking spot and hopefully wrap up this video. Alright, coming in. I just want to see the final mission debrief, you know, just to compare it a little bit. Oh look, there we can see another plane landing. So many forts. There we go. I think this is our parking spot because there's no other, you know, landing pads anymore. Okay, here we are, and beautiful. Here we go. There's even a little tent there. Stop the engine, booster pumps off, turbos off, throttles closed, make sure cut, idle, everything. Just turn it gently so it can be used to fight another day. Because those are what those guys did. Land them back and then go again. 25 missions was needed to be successful, and majority of them never lived up to these 25 missions. Yeah. Damage estimate totally destroyed. So here you go. Confirmed enemy kills 4 and 2. Look at that. This is beautiful. Primary target. Hit it right on the nose. Missing crews. Guardian Angel. Forced landing in friendly territory. Good. Mother and country. Crashed in the friendly territory. Okay, that doesn't sound good. Crashed in friendly. Did they survive? Were there any shoots? No. 10 KIA. Well, that's sad. Well, guys, this is it for this episode. Hope you liked it. Press a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.